Hello and welcome to PreCalc. Today, we're going to write this at the top of our page, is August 28th, 2020. Our topic for the day is linear equations. We've got both these at the top of our page. Alright, let's read our instructions. This number 9 is going to be example 1. Find the equation of the line that passes through the given points. Write that equation in point-slope form. Let's remind ourselves what point-slope form looks like. Let's also remind ourselves of our slope formula. Fine, that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Great. First thing we need is our slope. We have 2 points, and we can actually use either point. I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. Got 5 minus 3 over negative 2 minus negative 1. So 5 minus 3 gives me 2. Negative 2 plus 1. 2 over negative 1 is 2. Is negative 2. So our slope is negative 2. I'm going to pick this first point up here. You could pick either point. It doesn't matter. And we get y minus 3 is negative 2 times x plus 1. X plus 1 because we had x minus negative 1. That's our answer. I'm going to erase this to create space. If you need these notes, pause the video here. Number 10, we're going to call this example 2. Make sure you're writing out the original problem. I know I need slope, so I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. We'll plug that into our slope formula, and I've got negative 6 minus 7 over 5 minus negative 7. This is negative 13 over 5 plus 7 is negative 13 over 12. You can pick either point. I'm just going to pick the first one here again. So we get y minus 7 equals negative 13 over 12, x plus 7. X plus 7 because we had x minus negative 7. And that's our final answer in point slope form. All right, let's see what our next two examples are. Actually, before we dive into these next two examples, we are going to talk a little bit about parallel and perpendicular lines first. So in your notes, you're going to write parallel lines. We know that parallel lines have the same slope. An example of this would be you had y minus 2x plus 1 and y minus 2x minus 5. Even though they have different y-intercepts, they have the same slope of 2, making them parallel. This should make sense because parallel lines never touch. They're moving at the same rate, so they never have a chance to intersect because they're going at the same pace. We got perpendicular lines. We say they have negative reciprocal slopes, and we'll talk about what that means. So negative meaning you multiply it by negative 1. So if it was positive, it becomes negative. If it was negative, it becomes positive. Reciprocal means the inverse of a fraction. So we're going to think about some examples here. What if we had 2/3? Its perpendicular slope would be -3/2. If we had -1/2, its perpendicular would be +2. And lastly, if we have 3, its perpendicular slope would be -1/3. Pause here if you need to. All right, we're going to look at this number 61. We're going to call it example 3. Take a second, make sure you're writing out the original problem. It says, use the given conditions to write an equation for each line in point slope form and slope intercept form. So we're going to have two answers. Example 3. For a line passing through -8, -10, and parallel to the line whose equation is here. We see that our slope is -4. So right off the bat, my slope is -4. My point is given. So we're going to plug into point slope form. I get y minus -10 equals -4, x minus -8. Those double negatives turn to positives. And this is your first answer. This is point slope form. To go from point slope form to slope intercept form, we're going to isolate our y. So I've got y plus 10. I need to distribute this -4. -4 times 10, -40. Take away this 10. And we get y is -4x minus 50. Here is our second answer. This is our slope intercept form. Pause here and catch up with the notes if you need. I'm going to erase to create space. Okie doke, we're going to look at this number 62. We're going to call it example 4. It says, passing through the line -2, -7, through the point, not the line, and parallel, we can write a reminder to ourselves. We're just going to say same slope to the line whose equation is here. The slope here is -5. I know that because it's up front. Parallel, same slope, great. The slope's -5. We're going to label x1, y1, and plug into point slope form. So I have y minus -7 equals -5, x minus -2. I've got y plus 7, because double negative, x plus 2. Great. This is already our first answer. This is point slope form. To go from point slope form to slope intercept form, we need to isolate the y. I'm going to distribute the -5. -5 times +2, -10. Take away 7, and we get y is -5x minus 17. And this is our slope intercept form. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks.